On the night before Christmas, when the entire neighborhood of Willowbrook was filled with music, laughter, and the smell of roast chicken, Melanie Carter, a 28-year-old black African woman, stood frozen at her front door, staring at a small gift box wrapped in shimmering gold paper. There was no card. No name. No footprints leading to or away from the doorstep. But that wasn't what terrified her. It was the handwriting on the tag. A handwriting she hadn't seen in 18 years. A handwriting that belonged to someone who was supposed to be dead. Melanie whispered, her trembling fingers hovering above the box. Why would you send me this? After all this time? And as she slowly lifted the lid, her breath caught in her throat. Because inside was the one thing she prayed she would never see again. A silver locket. Engraved with the initials AC. Her father's initials. The father she lost when she was 10. The father whose death her family never talked about. The father whose secrets were buried so deep, even Melanie was afraid of them. And now, someone had just placed those secrets back at her door. Patricia arrived within minutes, her face pale the moment she stepped inside. When Melanie pointed at the locket, Patricia stepped back as if she had seen a ghost. No, Patricia whispered, her voice cracking. Melanie, this is not possible. That locket was buried with your father. Melanie stiffened. What do you mean buried? Why didn't you ever tell me that? Patricia hesitated, her hands shaking. Because your father made me promise never to speak of it. He said if the locket ever surfaced again, that meant his past had come back for us. Melanie felt a shiver crawl up her spine. What past? Before Patricia could answer, there was a sudden knock on the door. 3 slow knocks. Melanie and her mother stared at each other, fear tightening their chests. Because they both knew, nobody ever knocked like that except one person. Daniel Carter, Melanie's uncle, the family's secret keeper. On Christmas Eve morning, he had come with answers neither of them were ready for. Daniel Carter sat heavily on the sofa, wiping sweat from his forehead even though the room was cool. Melanie and Patricia watched him closely, the fear in his eyes was something neither of them had ever seen before. Daniel cleared his throat. There's something I need to show you, he said quietly. He slowly reached into his old leather jacket and pulled out a faded envelope. The edges were torn, the paper yellowed with age. Melanie noticed something strange. The envelope was sealed with the same silver wax symbol engraved on the locket, AC. Daniel handed it to Melanie. This was delivered to my house yesterday. No sender. No explanation. Melanie's heartbeat echoed in her ears as she opened the envelope. Inside was a photo. A photo that made her legs weaken. It was a picture of her father, Andrew Carter, a tall, athletic black African man, standing next to another man Melanie didn't recognize. Her father looked younger, healthier, alive. But the part that chilled her blood. The photo was taken 2 weeks ago. Melanie whispered, No. No, this can't be real. My father died 18 years ago. We buried him. You both told me. Patricia turned away, tears spilling down her cheeks. Daniel looked down, ashamed. Melanie, we didn't lie, he said softly. We buried a body. But now. He pointed at the date stamped at the bottom corner of the photograph. December 12th, this year. Melanie took a step back. If this photo was real, either her father never died, or someone who looked exactly like him was alive, and sending warnings. Daniel finally said the words Melanie feared the most. Your father was involved in things we never understood. Dangerous things. If this photograph is real, then whoever left that locket knows the truth. Before Melanie could respond, her phone buzzed on the table. A message from an unknown number. 4 words. You are next, Melanie. But Melanie didn't miss it. "Where Andrew what, Uncle Daniel?" she demanded. Daniel hesitated, his voice low and shaking. "That's where your father supposedly died." A cold silence fell over the room. Melanie felt her chest tighten, her world shifting under her feet. Benjamin gently touched her shoulder. "I didn't want to scare you, but I think, whoever that man was, he knew you. And he wanted you to find that locket." Melanie whispered, "Why? What does he want from me?" Benjamin looked at her, serious. "That's what we need to find out. And we need to do it fast." Suddenly, another message popped up on Melanie's phone. This time, a photo. But Melanie didn't miss it. "Where Andrew what, Uncle Daniel?" she demanded. Daniel hesitated, his voice low and shaking. "That's where your father supposedly died." A cold silence fell over the room. Melanie felt her chest tighten, her world shifting under her feet. Benjamin gently touched her shoulder. "I didn't want to scare you, but I think, whoever that man was, he knew you. And he wanted you to find that locket." Melanie whispered, "Why? What does he want from me?" Benjamin looked at her, serious. "That's what we need to find out. And we need to do it fast." Suddenly, another message popped up on Melanie's phone. This time, a photo. A dark, blurry image of the same old bridge, with a shadowy figure standing in the center. The caption read, "Come alone." Melanie's knees felt weak. The image on her phone, the old bridge, the same place her father was said to have died, pulled her into a fear she thought she had buried years ago. Daniel stepped forward quickly. "Melanie, listen to me," he said firmly. "You are not going to that bridge. Do you hear me? Whoever sent that message is dangerous." Patricia grabbed Melanie's hand tightly. "This is exactly how it started with your father. Messages. Warnings. Secrets. And then he vanished." Melanie's voice shook. "So you think the same thing will happen to me?" Patricia didn't answer. Her silence was louder than words. Benjamin shifted uneasily. "Look, Melanie, whoever sent that message knows where you live. They know your father. They know your family. If we don't go looking for answers, they'll keep coming." Daniel shot Benjamin a sharp look. "Don't encourage her." Benjamin raised his hands defensively. "I'm not encouraging, I'm being realistic. Running won't stop this. It never does." Patricia looked at Daniel with trembling lips. Maybe it's time we tell her everything." Daniel stiffened. "Patricia, we promised Andrew." Patricia's voice cracked. "Yes, but Andrew is either alive or being impersonated by someone who knows too much. We can't protect her by keeping secrets anymore." Melanie stepped forward, her heart pounding. "What are you both hiding from me? What did my father do?" Daniel took a deep breath, his eyes full of guilt. "Before your father died, he told us that if the locket ever returned, it meant someone from his past had resurfaced. Someone dangerous. Someone who wanted him dead, and might now come after you." Melanie swallowed hard. "Who?" Daniel lowered his head. "A man named Victor Hale." The room fell silent. Melanie frowned. I've never heard that name." "That's the point," Daniel whispered. "Your father spent years trying to keep that man away from this family. That locket, that bridge, all of it is tied to him." Before Melanie could respond, her phone vibrated again. This time, a voice note. Slow. Deep. Distorted. Melanie tapped it. A chilling voice spoke. "Your father died protecting the truth. Now it's your turn to uncover it." Patricia covered her mouth, trembling violently. Daniel whispered, "It's starting again." Melanie looked at all of them, her fear replaced slowly by determination. "I'm done being kept in the dark. Tonight, I'm going to that bridge." Night fell faster than it should have. The festive laughter from neighboring houses echoed faintly in the distance, but Melanie barely heard it. Her mind was fixed on the old bridge, the place where her father's story ended, and where hers was now being pulled. Melanie tied her jacket tightly and slipped the silver locket into her pocket. Benjamin stood at her side, refusing to let her walk alone. "You said come alone," he whispered. "But I'm not letting you go there without backup." Melanie nodded gratefully. She needed someone she trusted, and Benjamin had never turned his back on her. Daniel blocked the doorway, his face pale with fear. "Melanie, please, please don't do this. You have no idea what you're walking into." She held his gaze, her voice steady. "No more hiding, Uncle Daniel. Whatever my father was involved in, I need to know." Patricia stepped forward, tears in her eyes. "If you're going, take this." She placed a small woven bracelet in Melanie's hand, red, green, and black threads carefully intertwined. "Your father made it for you the night before he disappeared. He said it would protect you." Melanie's eyes stung with emotion as she tied it around her wrist. Benjamin took a deep breath. "Let's move." They stepped outside into the chilling night. And then, both of their phones buzzed at the same time. They looked down slowly. A new message. Same unknown number. This one had only 2 words. "Hurry. Watching." Melanie felt her breath catch. Someone was tracking their every step. Someone who wanted them at the bridge. And someone who might already be closer than she imagined. And then, both of their phones buzzed at the same time. They looked down slowly. A new message. Same unknown number. This one had only 2 words. "Hurry. Watching." Melanie felt her breath catch. Someone was tracking their every step. Someone who wanted them at the bridge. And someone who might already be closer than she imagined. The path narrowed as Melanie and Benjamin approached the old bridge. The wooden structure stood silently over the river, its planks worn, its railings cracked, its shadow stretching long under the moonlight like an open mouth waiting to swallow them. Melanie felt her heart pounding as she stepped closer. She had been here once as a child, the day her father disappeared, but the memory was foggy, like a dream she could never fully recall. Benjamin scanned the area, his voice low. "If this is a trap, we need to be ready." Melanie nodded, though her fingers shook as she brushed the locket in her pocket. Then she froze. A figure stood at the center of the bridge. Tall. Still. Facing them. The same silhouette from the photo. Benjamin whispered, "Mel, someone's here." Melanie stepped forward slowly, her breath unsteady. "Hello. Who are you?" The figure didn't move. Melanie tried again, louder. "Why did you bring me here?" Still nothing. Benjamin clenched his fists, stepping protectively beside her. "I don't like this." They walked closer, the wooden planks creaking under their feet. The air grew colder, heavier, as if the whole bridge was holding its breath. Finally, the figure spoke. A deep, distant voice. "Melanie Carter." Melanie stopped dead in her tracks. The voice, it felt familiar. Terrifyingly familiar. Who are you?" she whispered. The man took one slow step forward, his face partially revealed by the moonlight. And that was when Melanie's knees almost buckled. He looked like her father. The same jawline. The same broad shoulders. The same presence. Benjamin grabbed Melanie's arm. "Mel, we need to step back." The figure raised a hand calmly. If you want the truth, he said softly, you came to the right place. Melanie's voice cracked. My father, is he alive? The figure didn't answer. Instead, he pointed behind them. Melanie and Benjamin turned sharply and gasped. A second figure had appeared at the start of the bridge. Same height, same build, same stillness. Two identical silhouettes. One in front, one behind. Benjamin whispered, what is this? Twins. Lookalikes. What's going on here? Melanie's fear twisted into confusion. Why are there two of you? The man closest to her spoke again. He wanted to protect you. The other man spoke at the exact same moment. And he wanted you to forget. Melanie's heart thudded painfully. What do you mean? Both figures stepped forward simultaneously. And together, they said, your father lived two lives. Melanie's mind raced. Two identical men standing before her, and both claiming to know her father's secrets. She gripped the silver locket tightly, feeling the warmth pulse like a heartbeat in her hand. Two lives, she whispered. How is that possible? My father, he can't. The man closest to her raised a calm hand. I am Andrew Carter. The man you buried as your father, that was only part of him. I had to leave that life behind to protect you. The second figure stepped forward, voice steady, almost eerie. And I am what he became. A life hidden from the world, from enemies, from even you. Melanie's head spun. She looked from one man to the other. Enemies? Hidden life? Locket, bridge. What does it all mean? Andrew, the first, exhaled slowly. Years ago, I discovered that Victor Hale, someone I trusted, was dangerous. He wanted power, secrets, and control over this family. I faked my death to keep you and your mother safe. The second man added, the locket was a key. A symbol. Whoever finds it knows everything. That's why it came back to you now. Someone from my past is resurfacing. Melanie felt the cold wind bite at her skin. So, all this time, everything I was told, it was a lie? Andrew nodded. Not a lie, Melanie, just a half-truth. We had to protect you. The shadowy figure from the bushes stepped closer now, just outside the bridge's edge. Melanie's heart leapt. Benjamin whispered, tense. Mel, look. Someone's watching. A voice carried softly over the wind. You shouldn't have come here alone. Melanie swallowed hard, realizing that the night was far from over. The locket, the bridge, her father's secrets, all of it was just the beginning. Melanie's heart pounded. Two men, one her father, one a life he had hidden, and a shadowy figure lurking in the bushes. The calm Andrew Carter stepped forward. Melanie, you must understand. Victor Hale isn't just anyone. He's been after me for years. And now, he wants the locket. The shadowy figure stepped into the moonlight. It was Victor Hale himself, tall, dark, and imposing, his eyes glinting with menace. Benjamin whispered, Mel, we're outnumbered. Melanie felt the locket burn against her chest. Suddenly, she remembered her mother's words, that the bracelet her father gave her would protect her. She lifted her wrist, the red, green, and black threads glowing faintly. The two Andrews nodded at her. Victor paused, visibly unsettled. What is this? He growled. The shadowed Andrew stepped forward. It's the protection he left for you. You can take what isn't yours. Melanie's courage surged. I won't let you hurt my family. In a flash, the two Andrews moved together, confronting Victor, forcing him back. But it was Melanie's action that surprised everyone. She held the locket up, the engraved initials AC reflecting the moonlight. A strange, almost magical warmth radiated outward. Victor screamed, stumbling backward, and the locket glowed brighter. Then, silence. Victor had vanished. Melanie exhaled, trembling. Benjamin grabbed her shoulder. "You did it," he said. The Andrews looked at Melanie, smiling faintly. "Your father always believed you were strong enough to face the past," said the calm Andrew. "And now, you are." Melanie sank to the bridge, tears streaming, laughter breaking through the tension. Everything, the locket, the messages, the secret lives, finally made sense. Benjamin chuckled nervously. "So, your dad, and his other life, saved us all." Melanie nodded, holding the locket close. "Yes, and maybe it's time the family secrets finally rest." The morning sun broke over Willowbrook, painting the sky with warm gold and orange hues. Melanie, Benjamin, Daniel, and Patricia sat together on Melanie's porch, exhausted but smiling. The locket rested safely in Melanie's hand, now a symbol not of fear, but of truth, courage, and family. Daniel sighed, relief washing over him. "I guess some secrets were meant to be uncovered, not hidden forever." Patricia hugged Melanie tightly. "And now, we can finally be free of the past." Melanie smiled, looking at the horizon. "Dad protected us, even from beyond. I understand now. And I think I finally understand him." Benjamin nudged her playfully. "Next time, can the adventure wait until after breakfast?" Melanie laughed. "Maybe. But tonight, I'll remember this Christmas forever." High above, the sky sparkled with stars. And somewhere, somehow, a gentle warmth seemed to watch over them, a sign that Andrew Carter's sacrifice, courage, and love would never be forgotten. The bridge, the locket, the secrets, all had found peace. And for Melanie Carter, the gift that wasn't meant for her had become the greatest gift of all.